This is BIV Today, the daily business video show and podcast from the journalists at Business in Vancouver. I'm Haley Wooden. Research suggests that Canadians have been drinking more during the COVID-19 pandemic. No surprise there. But at liquor stores in British Columbia over the last couple of years, one of the most popular products have been low-cal, low sugar or no sugar drinks. And joining me today is the founder and CEO of a company that launched the first 5% alcoholic vodka beverage in Canada. Julius Makarewicz is the founder and CEO of Nude Beverages based here in Vancouver. Julius, great to have you on the show.
Thank you, Haley. Thank you for having me.
I understand you recently marked a big milestone, 60 million cans sold. Tell me a bit about what led to this success.
That's a loaded question right there. But it all starts with having a product that people really want to drink and a product that's better for you, and also having a brand that people love. I think that's people can tell we're real about what we do, and we really love what we do, and we love our product, and it really shows in our marketing and branding. So it's about putting love into it. So yeah.
For sure. I think it might be fair to say that we saw this trend play out in food maybe a little bit before we saw it play out in alcoholic beverages, this trend toward healthier options. Do you think that it's kind of a bit of a move toward healthier products that has helped foster some support for the products you sell?
Oh, absolutely. That was really the inspiration for it. So back in 2013, the health trend was there in full force. Like, everybody was eating healthy. People were eating their kale salads and green juices, and they were making, food with no seasoning on it, and low cal and this and that. And the grocery store shelf had all these options. And then when I went into the liquor store, there was no options that reflected that choice. Like, I was eating healthy at the time, and I can't drink a lot of beer because I have a gluten sensitivity, and I also, try to eat healthy, and don't like sugary coolers. So that's kind of where Nude came from, is creating an option for myself and my friends that's better for you, that you can still have a good time but not feel weighed down. So.
What are you noticing in differences between generations? So you shared the experience for you, but what about for older generations that have grown up and are very familiar with drinking, say, sugary coolers or beer? Are they starting to change their habits?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, the trend's obviously more. It's more prevalent in the kind of younger demographic, where it's like the health food is cool and more on trend. But in the older demographic, people are definitely watching their choices closer, and in the liquor space, we're seeing a lot more people switch from beer or these sugary traditional beverages over to Nude and other low calorie products, for sure.
Was it helpful to you to be based in Vancouver, which is a bit of a mecca, so to speak, for healthy and clean living?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. If you just go up to the seawall and see how active people are, then Vancouver is a great place to launch Nude, for sure.
I know that some of our liquor laws in the province, some would argue, are a bit outdated, but the government is working on changing some of that. What was your experience like setting up a business in the alcohol industry?
I get asked that a lot. It actually wasn't that tough. It's just, you got to talk to the right people and get the right people to help you with setting it up. But BC is actually to me anyways, it's been a pretty good experience. The liquor board's been great. I've had no issues with the BC liquor board, personally. Yeah.
And I understand you're expanding as well and into the US market. Tell me a bit about your expansion plans and how that's been going.
Yeah, it's been going good. We launched probably at the worst time ever. Right at the start of COVID is when we launched in the States. So but even with that in mind, we've still done really well. We got upwards of 20 we're in upwards of 20 states with, I think, 25 to 30 distributors right now. Obviously not all those states are rolling hard yet. But a good portion of them are doing really good, especially given the circumstances. And right now I'd say the States is in and around, in the last 6 months, I think it's 15% of our business now. So far, so good.
That's good to hear. Has it been a very different experience to expanding in Canada, or is it more similar than it is different?
It's a completely different world down there. Like absolutely completely different different laws, different ways of doing businesses. I mean, they're in the 3-tier system where you have to have a distributor in between, you know, the consumer and or the producer and the retailer. And it's a whole other world. I spent a good year before selling our first can researching the States and how it works so that we do it right. So.
And you mentioned you launched into the US at the start of the pandemic. How has COVID-19 impacted your business?
I mean, like good and bad. So I mean, not, and when I say good, I don't mean like, you know, good. It's not a good situation for anybody. But right when the pandemic started, there was just a lot of stress out there, and there was also a lot of boredom because people were in their homes, and because of that, there was a lot of alcohol consumed. So there was kind of a spike at the beginning that leveled off after a little bit. But then stateside, like it really messed up our launch plans. So like the way I kind of sum it up is if you already have listings and you're already distributed, you kind of had a spike at the beginning of COVID. But if you're expanding and trying to get new customers, it's been challenging for sure. Yeah.
I know for some companies in the industry, the ways they would market would be sponsoring an event or handing out samples or free cans at an event or samples within liquor stores. And none of that is really happening now. Have your marketing plans and strategy changed?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. We've had to completely cut tastings out because it's just like, I see some companies doing tastings right now. And I don't think that now's the time to do tastings. It's kind of, I think it's a little bit early. And then events are completely out the door. So we've completely shifted our strategy. And that obviously includes more digital. That includes more influencer marketing. There's a few things that we've kind of pivoted to, but definitely not doing events and tastings. Right. Yeah.
Do you think you have enough brand recognition now that you can rely just on digital marketing and not actually have the sampler? Because I know a lot of people purchase food or a drink after having the chance to physically experience it. So it's kind of a different way to approach selling a tangible product.
Yeah, it was a big part of our strategy before, but right now, I think especially in Canada, like we have enough brand recognition now where people have tried the product, and I think that they trust what we make. Where down in the States, it'd be nice to do tastings, but you know what, we just got to figure it out another way.
Of course. You mentioned before we hit record that you also moved during the pandemic. Tell us a bit about what happened and what you're doing to ensure that your employees are safe.
Yeah. So long story short, as I was saying, we got a bigger space. I didn't think that we were going to get a bigger space, but because of COVID, you just want more space for everybody, and you want more space for the staff so that it's not. I just want to make sure everyone's safe. So the office we're in is a little big for like what we should have, but in amidst COVID, it kind of made sense. So yeah.
I don't think it wouldn't be uncommon for a successful company like yours to potentially be acquired by a larger company. There's some very, very big conglomerates in this industry. Is that something you've thought about, or has anyone ever approached you about that?
I mean, anybody that gets to like a certain size, there's tire kicks always, but we have no intentions. Like at the present moment, like I don't know what's going to happen in 3 to 5 years. I don't know where we'll all be at, but right now, like no, we just want to keep growing. Absolutely.
And on that topic, in our final couple of minutes here, tell us a bit about what we can expect from Nude Beverages in the next couple of years. What are your plans?
Yeah, so definitely more flavors, more product extensions, more cool stuff, more limited edition packs. Like we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. Like we love creating new products. We love putting new stuff out. What else? Like obviously expansion, you'll see us in more states. You'll see us doing kind of more marketing in the provinces that we're currently in. You're going to see some really cool stuff in Vancouver. Like we got some really cool plans and cool campaigns. And, but yeah, mostly what I am personally looking forward to is our new flavors. So.
There you go. Stay tuned. I too will be looking forward to those. Julius, thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Awesome. Thank you, Haley. Thanks for having me.
That's Julius Makarewicz. He's the founder and CEO of Vancouver-based Nude Beverages. And this has been BIV Today. I'm Haley Wooden. Thanks so much for listening and watching. We'll be back with a new episode of our show tomorrow.